Boker Tov, everyone. You are listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. We are here today, back in New York, after a crazy whirlwind trip from Israel on Israel Free Spirit Birthright. I just can't believe that. A few days ago, I was in Israel, and right here I am back in the studio where I love to be on a Friday morning. Well, you guys know it's not actually Friday. It's Wednesday morning, and we are meeting here with an incredible group of guests that I've got. I've got an action-packed show because I've had an action-packed last few days. I think I've an action-packed life, but whatever. We'll move on about that later. But on the phone I've got, and I'm going to just tell you all who my guests are because I want you to stick around for our crazy ride that we have. On the phone I have Shachar Avraham, all the way from Israel Free Spirit Birthright. He's going to talk to us about upcoming birthright trips that you can do. I have Gabby and Aaron from All Shook Up, tying it all into food from Israel because I did a foodie trip in Israel. So the timing was perfect. Naomi Elberg, all the way from Detroit, kind of lives in New York with us right now. She is the babka, challah baking, bread, carbohydrate queen.
That's it.
Can I say carbohydrate queen?
Sure.
Yeah, because everything, like, you're teaching us bread and sourdough and
I do
donuts.
other things, but people just seem to really like the carbs.
Yeah,
So
you know what?
I give the people what they want.
And we all appreciate that. And Kiss the Kosher Cook, Malky Hirsch, is joining us as well. It's an unbelievable hour. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Okay, I'm going to make you hungry. Okay, let's take it from the top. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Naomi Nachman. I'm about all the food all the time. I'm like going really fast, right? I love food. I love shopping for it, cooking it, eating at restaurants, anything food related. I'm a personal chef. I read 2 cookbooks. I do chop competitions, catering, and even for Pesach. Yes, Pesach. I'm going to throw out that P word because it's already January. Wake up, people. Pesach is around the corner. So I'd like to hear about your cooking adventures too, and I hope you'll enjoy ours with my kosher food traveling, my great food ideas, and my amazing guests. So you can email me also, Naomi@NachumSegal.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram and right here on the Nachum Segal Network. So if you have anything exciting that you want to share with me, let me know because I love to hear from what you guys are up to and where you ate and what you made. And it keeps me busy too, being in touch with everyone. And I absolutely love doing it and hearing from you. Okay, so we're going to move right along because on the phone I have Shachar Avraham from the Israel Free Spirit, which is the OU Birthright Program. Hi, Shachar.
Good morning, Naomi.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thank God. Great to be back on the show.
Thank you. Next time you'll come into the studio as we get closer to the summer registration. But I just wanted to share with everyone all a little bit about Israel, what Israel Free Spirit is, so they'll know more when they can want to, sign up for the summer.
Sure. So Israel Free Spirit Birthright is an official trip organizer under Birthright Israel. We're also under the OU, the Orthodox Union, and we run 10-day trips in Israel. They are completely free, and it's a transformative and incredible experience. As you know from personal experience now, a couple times, I know you staffed the trip, and you just came back from one.
Yeah, it was amazing. Actually, mine was a niche trip. It was a foodie trip.
Right.
So how many different niche trips does the OU run? Does Israel Free Spirit run?
Oh my gosh, so many. We have the foodie culture trip. We have Adrenaline Rush for people who are into, rappelling and hiking and other outdoor activities. We have Arts, Music, and Entertainment, which the title speaks for itself. We have other niche trips called our Modern Orthodox trips for people who come from that background. And we have also single gender trips for all males and all females. And then we have campus trips as well for, specific college campuses. So we really have a ton of different trip options and trip choices.
Wow, it is amazing. It's a little bit sad for the people who can't qualify because they're, say, older than 32 or have been to seminary or yeshiva. But tell us a little bit about who can qualify to go on a birthright trip.
That's a great question and probably one of the questions that we get most often. So first and foremost, to be eligible to go on one of our trips, you have to be of Jewish descent. You have to be between the ages of 18 and 32. And then one of the most common questions we get is, well, if I've been to Israel before, can I go on Birthright Israel? And the answer is yes, but it depends on what type of trip. So if you went on an organized program, which is, a program that was in Israel with, let's just say, for example, like a tour guide and a whole organized and, official itinerary and things like that, not like a family trip, but if you went on an organized program in Israel after the age of 18, then you would not, unfortunately, be eligible. You would not be eligible for one of our trips. But if you did an organized trip before the age of 18, then there's a chance that actually you would be eligible. So another example of an organized trip that would unfortunately make someone ineligible is going on a gap year program, like going to yeshiva or seminary, or spending a semester abroad in Israel or something like that, or any of the other organized trips that they have in Israel. But if you meet any of the other qualifications, then you are eligible for our trips, and I highly recommend that you apply.
Yes, I highly recommend it too. And if you know someone, think, outside of you just yourself, like if you know someone or you have a cousin who's of Jewish descent, they are eligible to go and spread the word, because we would love to keep the Birthright movement going, and the continuity of the trip is amazing, and just spreading the word to bring everyone there. There is a couple of things that we should also mention, Shachar, that certain things that every Birthright group does, whether you go on the modern Orthodox one or even a different trip tour organizer, you all have the same mandated requirements, which I think we should talk about as well. So you take it away.
Of course. Sure. I mean, the itinerary across the board on any Birthright Israel trip is pretty much going to be the same, the standard itinerary, hitting up what I'll call the hot spots, like Yerushalayim, Tel Aviv, Masada, the Dead Sea, Golan Heights, certain areas there. And
Bedouin tents. We all sleep in Bedouin tents.
Oh, yeah. Those are great, right? So those are like the key places that all trips go to. And then, depending on the trip that you're on, whether it's a niche trip or a campus trip or, whatever trip choice you're on, there will be a couple of other activities or places or things that you see that will differ, again, depending on the trip that you're on. So your trip, Foodie Culture, you guys probably had a couple of activities that were geared towards that niche.
Correct.
Right?
Yes, we did.
What were some of those activities that you did?
So we went to a Druze village. We went to a Druze village because it's culture. Part of Israel's culture is having the Druze also living in Israel. So we went to a Druze village and we ate Druze food. It was a kosher kitchen. It was an amazing program that we're able to make that happen. And go, when you go on an OU trip, the kashrus is going to be completely intact. And we had the Druze, a lunch at the Druze. We had a shuk tour. In Machane Yehuda. We also spent time at the Carmel Market and the Levinsky Market also. And I'm sure there was one or two other things as well that went along. And my brain is just overloaded. It was really incredible. Oh, we went to a wine tasting. We went to a chocolate factory. We went to an olive oil factory. Oh, how can I forget that? That was already at the beginning of the trip, so it's like a little further away. But it was amazing.
Right. So you can see how that trip obviously it differs from, what other trips would see. And that's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. Shachar, so how can people register for the summer?
So the best way to register right now is to take out your phone or take out your computer and go to israelfreespirit.com/app. That's israelfreespirit.com/app app. And there you type in your email, you click sign up or create account, and then you just start filling out your application, and you can choose the trip that you want.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Shachar, for coming on. And closer to the summer when the registration's fully open, we'll have you back on talking a little bit more about Israel Free Spirit. And thank you so much for the opportunity again for sending me.
Absolutely. I just want to make one more point that Israel Free Spirit Birthright is a leading trip organizer in participant satisfaction, meaning people love our trips. We fly over 2,000 people to Israel every year, and we run trips every winter and summer. So the summer trips are the most upcoming one between May and August, and then our winter trips, which are in session right now, which you just came back from, are between December and February. So we have a ton of trips. Check it out, IsraelFreeSpirit.com.
Amazing.
/app. Thanks so much, Naomi.
Amazing. Thanks, Shachar. And we'll talk next time about all the extension trips that you can do as well if you want to stay on in Israel. What else Birthright can offer as well. So lots going on there. Thanks very much, Shachar.
You're welcome.
All right, that was Shachar Abraham from Israel Free Spirit. Guys, if you know anyone that wants it and qualifies for a free trip to Israel, spread the word. It is, right, like, why would you not want to go? Amazing. It was really the trip of a lifetime. So I thought when I was preparing my notes for this, for the show, here we go, thanks. I'm like, I'm going to talk about Birthright. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have Shachar come and talk about Birthright. And, of course, was able to get him on the phone. I was very happy about that. But we visited some incredible places. Just want to give a 3 little shout-outs because that winter break is coming up. So 3 places you should try in the Shuk at Machane Yehuda. And then we're going to talk about the Shuk. I've got the Shuk here with me. I brought some of the Shuk back with me. Hatch Beer, Jachnun Bar, and Craft Pizza. 3 great places. So many other great places too. But this is what I got to try this trip. And you'll investigate. I've been to Beer Bazaar and Crave is also great. So lots of great places, but I'm just going to give those a little shout out now. All the way from New Jersey via Israel. I have business couple. I have Gabby and Aaron from All Shook Up. I forgot your last name.
It's a long one.
It's a long one, right? But they are the couple behind All Shook Up. They bring in food from the Shuk. You know how you used to go to the Shuk, like I did last week? Guys, the true story. I said, I'm not buying anything from the Shuk to schlep back because my suitcase was heavy from shoes. I bought a lot of shoes. Blundstones. I bought Blundstones. No.
What's a Blundstone?
Everybody in Israel wears Blundstones. It's actually an Australian boot. It's an Australian boot.
This is new.
This is what you need to import. Blundstone shoes. Australian. They're actually made in Tasmania, but everyone in Israel wears them. It was pouring in Israel like crazy, and everybody got their feet wet. But once I bought my Blundstones, my feet stayed dry and comfortable, which is unusual because you get one or the other sometimes.
I'll Google that.
Yeah, Blundstone. I don't even know how to spell it, but
Blunt stone?
yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I'll send you a picture. Okay, so I said I bought a ton of shoes in Israel, and I'm like, no room for snacks, but stuff from the Shuk because I don't need to worry because all shook up.
Very smart.
And then all of a sudden, we're around and we can get you on the show, and I'm like, this hashgacha pratis, right?
BLUND.
Oh, she already looked it up. Blunt.
You say it.
What?
BLUND.
Blunt.
Stone.
Stone. Blunt. Stone.
However you say it. It's from Australia.
I know, right?
So are you?
How sad is about the Australian fires, right? Can I just, everyone, can we just take a pause from the Shuk and just everyone daven for rain for Israel? We want rain. Daven for rain in Australia. We want rain in Israel. Trust me, there was a lot of it last week. And every time we got soaked in Israel, we kept saying bracha, 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 bracha. We didn't mind. But Australia really needs rain. There's a lot of devastation there. If I talk about it, I'm going to cry. So let's talk about food. That makes me happy. Hey guys, how's it going?
Naomi, how's everything? Thanks so much for having us on again.
My pleasure. And you'll come on for a big, long show. They actually just came by to drop some stuff off.
Yes.
And I said, I'm putting on the air for 5 minutes. How can I cannot? Because you're here and I love you guys and you're doing awesome things. And I love that they're a husband and wife in business. Okay, talk to me about All Shook Up.
Yes. That's listen. You know, we're passing along the wealth. We're passing along the wealth. to
Yeah,
everybody, though.
yeah.
It's delicious, by the way. This is actually fairly new. It's no sugar added blueberries.
Okay, wait, can we
Delicious.
just talk about
Yes.
what All Shook Up is?
Okay, so let's start again. So this is going back about a year and a half. We were in the Shuk for Gabby's brother, who was in the army in San Chanim. We went to the Shuk.
Very chashuv, very important
Very good.
unit. They're all important units.
Yes. So we went to the Shuk. We said, why isn't this more? Why isn't this in the United States? Gabby's idea, not mine, of course. So we said, why not do it? And we did it, and that was it. End of story. So now we're about a year and a half deep. Allshookup.com, all_shook_up on Instagram. Thank God we're doing well. People are loving it. like you three, of course.
FDA approved.
Yes, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I.
How did you get that? That must
So,
you
right,
must
so-
have jumped through a lot of hoops.
So it
no?
wasn't an easy process. That we don't do what everyone else does, where they bring back 3 suitcases full of stuff. We actually go through the proper process, which
I
works.
have to say, I really appreciate that.
Of
that
course, yes.
amazing?
It's legit. Though.
I love it.
Yeah, so thank God it's been doing very well for us. Gabby is the mastermind behind the idea. Of course, Fern Hirschfuss, Gabby's mom, from of course the Great Detroit.
Right, and who I went to Machon Gold with all those.
Right, she is
just
the
5
name
years
behind
ago.
Bell Shook Up. So we said, who can we ask who is very clever, smart, and come up with a good name? So in comes Fern Hirschfuss. So thank God for her, best mother-in-law ever.
That's so nice to hear you say that, because now I'm a mother-in-law. I truly appreciate hearing a son-in-law saying something about a mother-in-law. Shout out to you, Rafi Sassini.
It's fantastic. So first of all, let's pass around just a few things, then we'll get to some of the other goodies.
Okay, good. We're actually having a...
Yeah, why not? Once we're here,
I'll
though.
tell you what's really funny.
I kidnapped them, by the way. They were going to be here for 5 minutes.
You posted. There's like a Detroit, a local Detroit like women's Facebook page, and you had posted something about you are coming to town and all shook up, whatever. So of course I like Instagram stalked them, and I just thought this is an amazing idea, and I messaged her, and you probably thought I was crazy. I'm like, I want to help. I want to help you get out there. I wanted them to do well. I wanted you to get yourself out there so that you can continue, providing people all over the states. Not everyone gets to go to Israel. Not everyone notices the difference in the taste of spices from, a commercial store-bought brand that's been sitting on the shelves as opposed to like fresh from the shuk spices. And
Right. Well, of course, thank you very much. Yes, we're very, very, very
no,
much
I love that,
Right.
that you're, whatchamacallit?
So it's essentially it's the teas, it's the dried fruits, it's the spices. And well, let's start with that though. So I'll pass some of these guys around. I think some of you guys have tasted this before, as well as a lot of your listeners.
Okay, what is this?
So this is dehydrated watermelon.
Oh,
It's
This
so,
is-
but look
it's
how
different
red
than
it is.
fruits by Pesha, though.
No,
'cause
it's not. It's not.
hers is dehydrated. This is rehydrated.
Right. So one is air dried, one is freeze dried. Freeze dried, and I don't know exactly all of her specific items. This over here is air dried versus freeze dried. Freeze dried is kind of it turns hard.
Yeah.
This is
Mushy.
soft. Right. Exactly.
All right. So what are you opening there? Banana. Do you like bananas?
I have nothing else.
I
Oh my
like
gosh.
banana. Well, I wasn't going to open.
Are you hoarding everything for your?
I made muffins
I'm
with these.
I'm joking.
By
That's
the
why I
way,
brought them.
it was amazing.
Okay, so it's the
Okay,
same.
mango.
Wait, I don't need to wash. I'm saying I don't need to make a bracha. Because before I went on air, I washed because we're about to eat sourdough with Malky and Naomi. So I'm just going to eat this right away.
Literally candy.
Actually,
Right.
this is amazing.
Okay, I made muffins with those.
Yes. Yes. We saw
And
that. Yes.
they added extra sweetness to the muffin.
I love this. This is the
Oh,
They,
well, this-
they
yeah.
candied.
This,
They
yeah.
became caramelized.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, so should I open them? But this one?
Yeah.
I don't want to
By
open
the
them
way-
all.
By the way, Malky, you've got to try
Yeah.
the blueberries though.
Have some mango.
Yeah,
they're
let's try the
crazy, though.
blueberries,
I
and I'm
mean,
going to try
I-
some mango. Wait,
I know
ZK
you don't
needs
wanna share
also.
them, though, but-
We have to feed ZK.
Oh.
Do you eat bananas, ZK?
Very good.
Okay. We're going to open blueberries now, too.
Okay, we're trying to give away. We're all chewing. That's why if you hear dead time, no air, dead air, it's because we're eating.
Here, blueberry.
Let's do it.
Oh, my God.
Look how cute.
Are those the blueberries?
These are delicious.
Aren't they crazy?
Look at this.
There's nothing added?
Nothing added. It's crazy.
It's so good. You have to try this.
You can do it now.
Look at this.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at the itty bitty seeds.
Right,
that.
right. It's
It's
amazing.
mango.
Naomi.
Is this
What
the
is
like-
this one?
Is this the rind?
That's the rind. Yeah.
Can you
Hey,
eat the
you want
rind?
some blueberry?
Yeah.
Have some rind.
Yeah, we're all eating over here. Guys,
When was the last time you heard that?
I want you all to get on Instagram, and we're going to do a giveaway of some dried fruit.
Oh my god.
This
so
is a
sweet.
small giveaway, and we'll do a bigger.
Yeah, it's very
we'll do a
small.
bigger giveaway for our Nachum Siegel network.
Isn't it interesting? Did you have the blueberries though?
Yeah, we're gonna do.
They're
So we're gonna
crazy.
let's just do a fruit giveaway now.
Okay.
And then the next time, when you come in
Right.
for a big
So
show.
this over here is round one though. So what we just did, I was in Israel about a month ago, and I met with the owner, Eli Maman, the owner of Halva Kingdom. Everyone knows Halva Kingdom. They go to the Shuk. They
They're
see-
amazing.
Amazing.
You
Everyone
met
knows
them?
Yeah. So we went.
Importing them.
Yeah. So we started importing their nuts, which I think Naomi and Malky have tried before.
Do you have any here?
Yeah.
Of course we do.
Oh, we never tried importing them, but we have eaten them.
So
So
we had a,
give it up, girls.
Okay, 1 second. My favorite is vanilla halva.
Okay. Vanilla chalva nut.
No, the whiskey one. Yeah.
Well, I don't love
The
whiskey.
whiskey, the whiskey. So just
Is this the whiskey one?
Yeah, open that one.
Oh, you
Oh,
have
well,
Yeah,
you-
but I don't like whiskey though.
so there's no alcohol though in there.
Okay.
It's just flavor.
Doesn't taste
Right, but I don't like whiskey flavor. I like alcohol.
You might try it.
Wait, last
good.
time Ellie Rosenfeld told me to try horseradish matzo chips, and I said I don't like horseradish, and he goes, "You'll like these," and then I spat it out.
Really?
So we
Oh.
won't
So-
do that this time. Go with the vanilla.
No, so I should. I don't want to eat something.
You might though.
That,
They're
okay, so
fantastic.
what is this one? Vanilla chalva almonds. That's
Yes,
more
you'll like
mine.
this though. Yes.
I don't want to spit it.
No, it's
Okay,
so good.
so we're gonna try.
This tastes like whiskey, by the way.
Yeah, it does taste like whiskey.
This one.
Yeah, it's like it's a little bit of a hint. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So then I don't want it.
So what we did, so we had a meeting with the owner of Hollow Kingdom. We went around. We checked out the facility, his whole factory, and we are now the exclusive importer of all of their nuts. Which
so happy
which I
for
think
you
will
guys.
be incredible. Which
Oh my God.
is very exciting.
And I love that you have recipes with like just using them, not just for
Yes,
snacks, but
right,
like your
right.
brownies looked
Wait.
insane.
Do you write recipes?
No.
Oh, so you just.
I watched their stories.
Oh, dear, I must have missed that one.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry.
Coconut with Ceylon.
Yes, coconut.
Yes,
and Ceylon.
yes, yes.
That one's
We should do some recipe for them. We'll have our little
That'll-
recipe at the back.
No, because I eat them as is. before I can even
Very
eat
good.
them.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, fair enough, Naomi. Fair enough. Okay, we're just trying nuts, guys. If you want to win some, what are we winning?
Let's do. You know, I don't know. What are we going to give away?
just
Well,
a
I mean,
mix of
I think you should do
everything.
the blueberries for sure. The
Okay.
watermelon.
Blueberries,
And do
watermelon.
So fruit.
one with the
but it's a
nuts.
dry fruit though. I guess it's
dry
more
fruit
it's more
one.
encompassing. I mean, you
I
guys
know
have
you
done
eat-
you guys have done giveaways throughout your
You
careers.
tell us what you want.
You tell us what makes sense.
Well, I can't ask the audience because I can't call in.
I would definitely put one of the
blueberries.
Malky's
One of the
deciding.
nuts.
Malky's deciding what should be in the
watermelon's
Ulster Cup
amazing.
giveaway on
Banana.
Table for Two on the Nachum Siegel Network.
Yes.
So we're waiting to hear back from
Make
Malky.
the
Malky,
muffins.
can you talk in and
Okay,
tell us
send
what
me
we're
your
going to win
recipe.
for them?
Good.
So we're gonna give away the dried watermelon, or however you call it. What is it?
And a
called?
house?
Yeah.
No, just
Yeah.
joking.
The watermelon, the banana, the blueberries.
Perfect.
Okay.
One of your,
Coconut.
I'm not sure.
Banana.
Ceylon.
Ceylon coconut
with
for
Ceylon,
sure.
yes.
So it's gonna be like a Malky's favorite.
Yes!
giveaway.
It's going to be
Yes.
a Kiss the
My
So
Kosher
cute.
favorite
Cook
things.
collab with the Nachum Siegel Network with
Perfect.
Ulster Cup.
I love it.
Yes.
Well, what
Naomi
happened to?
Albert.
There we go.
I just sit here and nod. I'm like, that sounds good.
No, this is amazing. Here's okay, try that. All right, so all you have to do is email in Naomi at NachumSiegel.com. Thank you. And we will put you in to win. If you follow on Instagram, that's an added bonus. A lot of my listeners do not have Instagram, but we want to get everybody involved in this. So
Of course.
you email me, Naomi at NachumSiegel.com, and you can win a whole slew of delicious packages of Ulster Cups, dried fruit, picked out by Malky and Naomi from Ulster Cup. Okay.
And just so everybody knows, these nuts are available, of course, on allshuckup.com.
Excellent.
And we are in the process of bringing in a whole other container of product very, very soon. So there'll be many more flavors, many more exciting things to come.
I am so excited for you guys. I have watched your business like really grow, like when we first met
That's
up.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we're going to have you guys back before Purim if we
Yes.
can organize that. So we're looking forward to that. Stay tuned for the next 3-4 weeks. It's not so far away.
No, it's very
Those
soon.
P words are coming up fast.
Done
So
nut butter?
so let's go.
but I like
Naomi
the way
has
it
some
sounds.
suggestions. We can make a business meeting
Thought
with
about
everyone
that.
on the show.
Nut butter with, oh my God, that'd be yum. And then you drizzle it over ice cream.
You're talking my language.
Yeah, this is how it all starts. Many businesses have actually started off in the Nachum Siegel Network show. So there you go. Okay. All right. Amazing. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
coming.
much.
This was amazing. We'll see you before Purim. Okay.
Sounds good.
Let's take care of that. DK, did you try? How good was that stuff, hey? Amazing. All right. I know they have to run. They literally came in to drop some stuff off to the studio. And we're like, yeah, we're kidnapping you for a show, but we want to have them on for a nice big Purim show. Do you do Pesach? Anything for Pesach? Not yet. Not this coming year, but hopefully in the future. I like. DK's like getting right in there. I still have my coffee. It's good, right?
Once you pop, you can't stop.
I like that. I like that. Wow.
But those bananas are
Thanks,
really
guys.
my favorite now.
Thank
They're
you.
my
Thank you.
favorite. And,
All right.
I thought I would just use them.
All right, back to the show. We have an incredible second half coming up. This is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Siegel Network. We have had already Shachar Abraham from Israel Free Spirit. We have the amazing couple behind, Gabby and Aaron, behind All Shook Up. And now I have for the second half. It's a bread fest. I'm just going to leave it like that. Kiss the Kosher Cook, Naomi Elberg. They are two friends who met through Instagram land. I met them. Marky and I both live in the same neighborhood, and we both went to the same shore. And Naomi and Malky met through Instagram. I met Naomi through Instagram. I think our friendship got bigger through because the foodie world. And I have to say, it's quite incredible how so many people have met. Our paths would never have crossed.
I was watching, it was a couple summers ago, and I think Danielle was at your house. I was watching Danielle's story.
Yes, I made
She
her
walked
lime.
into
Peas, love, and
someone's
carrots.
house. Yes. And I was like, who is this woman that bakes cakes and cookies? And with
That's
these
Malky.
It was Malky. And I was like, I want to know her. Like, who is she? Anyways, I met you. You were pregnant with Rosie. Pregnant forever with
You like to
Rosie.
say that I was
feel like-
very large.
No, I never said that. I
You
said
did.
you were pregnant for a
You
long
did say
time
that.
with Rosie.
Right. Well,
And-
she was overdue.
I wasn't
She-
overdue.
You were
I was
gonna
just
come with me
very,
to the
very
Ram dinner.
large.
We're
Yeah, I
waiting for you
couldn't
to have a
move. I
baby.
couldn't move.
She
It
was
week
just
before.
very hot.
It was August.
It was August.
It was
For
a bit.
God's sake, August is hot without a baby.
I met
Right.
Malky the first time, and I was like, "You're the woman that bakes, who makes all." And Malky was like, "Okay, yeah." Anyways, we chatted through Instagram, and then I met you at Kosher Fest, 2017,
17, yeah.
Wow.
and Malky was in the best
It really
dressed
hasn't
hot
been
dog
that long.
contest.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the Abels and Hayes.
That's Melinda won that.
Yeah.
Yes. I was
I'm
robbed
sorry.
of my title.
Can we have a rematch right here?
I
in the
would love a
studio?
rematch.
I'm going to write that
Oh
down.
my God, please don't write that down.
Rematch. Abels and Hyman. They were my first sponsors of my radio show.
I love that.
What
Seth
did
is
Melinda
amazing.
put on hers? Chocolate.
Yeah.
But she
I
could,
put on foie gras. Like, that's legit on a hot dog, right? Melinda put on, like, gummy bears or something.
yeah, I can't remember. The trophy stands in her house.
I know. I've been robbed.
Rematch.
Anyways,
Okay, so your friendship has grown a lot, and now you work a lot together in doing sourdough.
so
Naomi taught me everything I know. That's the truth. Honestly, I'll tell you. I did take a course. While I learned a lot, sourdough is a different culture.
Literally.
It's
It is.
scary.
It is. It's a whole different. Just because you're a baker doesn't mean you're a bread maker. Doesn't mean you can understand sourdough and how.
Right. I bake a lot of bread, and
Yes.
I know I've made sourdough. I've made it a lot till I smashed my starter on the kitchen floor.
Good
But
news for you. We have a lot
we
to
have
share.
a lot of starter.
yeah. So Naomi, whenever something happens to my starter, I can call Naomi. And there's also shout out to Ahuva, got dinner from
Ahuva
and
is
so
Chaya
help-
Suri.
a
Everyone-
wealth of knowledge.
That's the
Chaya Suri is the
thing.
queen. She
She's
started
the-
this.
That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
that everyone is so willing to help one another. I'm the type of learner. Okay, I don't do math and I don't do science, which is really weird because.
Which is all this is about.
Absolutely. It's math.
But when it comes down to it, I don't look at the math part of it. Okay, I don't. It took me so long to understand hydration, which I'm not even gonna get into. The point is, hello. I also I never understood it. I killed my starter so many times, although you really can't kill your starter.
pretty
it
hard.
always comes back to
Yeah,
life.
yes, you brought mine back to life.
Where was I going with this? Also, so basically what happened was Ida, who's kitchen accomplished, she
Have her on the show.
she
She's amazing.
she started doing it, and I had all these questions to ask her, and she's like, I'm just gonna mail you some dried starter, and I'll tell you how to rehydrate it, and I'll just explain it to you along the way. What I loved about what Ida did was I told her, I said, you have to dumbify this for me. You cannot use crazy terms. You cannot just
Auto lease. That's
just
too scary.
give me numbers. How much of this, how much of this, and how much of this. And I will send you pictures like a crazy person, and you will have to answer me, because if you don't, I will keep bothering you. So just answer my question. I don't want to kill my starter. She literally coached me for 2 or 3 days of rehydrating my starter to actually making bread. And then Malky was like, I want to make sourdough. No, I don't want to make sourdough. Yeah, I do. No, I don't.
Naomi came into my kitchen and basically said, okay, so I'm a very visual learner,
Yeah, me too.
right?
Are you
So-
guys like that also?
So yeah, she came into my kitchen, and then upon leaving and going back to her family in Detroit, which I was a little bit upset about, how dare you?
I came in just to
I would
take care of the
FaceTime her and show her, my starter evolving and bubbling and growing, and then the dough making process. And she was really just there to tell me, okay, it's ready now, or give it another feed, things like that. And then basically, eventually, it becomes like
Also,
second nature.
that book, Artisan Sourdough
Made simple. Emily Raffa.
It's literally made simple. It
It
doesn't
is.
have there's other books on the market. You open them. I told you. I look at them and I close them and I
Right.
walk away.
Right. Well, look, people have that with cooking.
Yes.
What sourdough can be for us is like cooking for other people. So, like even with my book, I tried to keep it very simple. Instruction 1, instruction 2. Sometimes they're all in one paragraph.
Yeah.
A lot of instructions in award-winning cookbooks. I can't read it. I can't use it because even me, who I think I know how to cook, it's overwhelming to read all the directions in one paragraph.
Yeah.
Break it down.
I just want to simplify it.
Simplify it.
That's it.
Right.
I never made starter. Okay, never made starter because if you Google creating a sourdough starter, you read about this and this,
And you
you're
don't
like,
need one that's 10 years old.
But I'm like, why? I'm turned off of doing it before I even do it.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, Malky, if we're gonna do something and teach people how to make starter,
Because that's what we're doing
like,
tomorrow, actually.
people wanted to learn how to make starter. We figured,
I want
Sourdough.
to come.
want to come?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're doing a sourdough for beginners class without those fancy terms, right?
Right.
We're
Well,
doing-
they're only going to hear this on Friday, so
course.
the class has already been in the past.
Yes.
But- so you'll finish, and,
And
then
the
I'll
Magic
say,
8 Ball said we're gonna rock it.
That's right.
DK, whose 8 Ball is that? Is that Miriam Wallach's? Okay.
Well, then it must be accurate, right?
Right.
For sure. Okay.
Miriam knows what she's talking about.
When the whole topic of doing a class came up, it was supposed to be sourdough for beginners because we're still beginners.
Yes.
We've been
we
doing
are.
it for a year. We learn something new every single day. So basically, if we learn something new today, like this starter, this is just this week, and now we're able to really explain it.
I want to actually pause this conversation. You and I, the three of us, are jumping in like we know what we're talking about. I'm just imagining a listener tuning in, maybe the first time, the second time, or someone who's not a foodie going, what are they talking about? Bread, sourdough starter? I'm from another planet. Where did these girls come from?
Malky knows.
I think we should recap and take it from the top. What are we talking about? What is sourdough bread? What is a starter?
Mhm.
And then take it from there.
Sourdough bread is the way that we've been making bread since the beginning of the world's creation.
Briat
When-
Haolam.
Absolutely. When the Jews were leaving Mitzrayim, what were they looking to do? They're looking to make sourdough bread. The thing with sourdough bread is that because today we have Fleischmann's instant active yeast, which if you put in water, it'll proof in a matter of minutes. People got used to having something immediately.
Oh, really?
Instant
Instant
gratification. That's today. That's the world we live in today. Sourdough takes things back to basics, but with that also things take much longer to develop. So a starter is what is referred to as its wild yeast. How do you make a starter? With flour and water.
And the environment.
air.
And the
Exactly,
air.
yes.
Because there's wild yeast in the, air.
And that's why within 48 hours, this looks the way it does. We have a starter.
What does that mean? What looks like
Okay.
the way it does? Because
So-
remember, they're hearing.
Right. No, I know. Okay. Saturday night and Sunday, we created 2 starters. All right. And it's just flour and water.
Starter is the foundation of
Of
the
bread.
sourdough bread.
Right. A starter is the yeast. It's natural yeast. It's natural leavening.
You know how you use a little bit of yeast in your whole recipe? So instead of using yeast, you use a bit of the starter.
Okay. So if you Google how to create a sourdough starter, it's approximately a 7-day process. It could take up to 7 days, sometimes longer. It's flour and water. You cover it and you let it sit and you let it ferment. And what happens? You feed it. Like it becomes a living organism. You want it to become a living organism. And how do you promote growth and strength? You feed
feeding
it.
it.
So you're feeding it flour and water. That's its main source of nutrients.
Equal parts flour and water.
All right. And then basically what you're hoping for are to see little air bubbles and the smell changes, the texture changes, and you follow these directions and you hopefully end up with a
An active
healthy
starter.
sourdough starter. Okay. So anyways,
That was great.
Thank you.
I think we kind of brought the basics to
Right.
catch everybody up.
Yeah.
because like sometimes we talk and we all know what we're talking about. If
Right.
you're not a bread baker or a cook in general,
It's true.
you might.
So
we're all up to speed,
it was-
right, guys?
It was going according to plan. Flour, water, and then if you don't feed your sourdough starter,
Feeding means adding more water and
Right.
flour.
it basically tells you it's hungry by creating something called
Ooch.
it's alcohol. It's an alcohol that's given off, and it has a very strong smell. And it's basically your sourdough starter saying,
I'm really hungry.
"Feed me."
I'm really
It's
hungry.
And the word hooch is known for alcohol making back in Prohibition. They would call
Oh
it
my
hooch,
gosh.
right?
Yes.
Where's the hooch? Give me some
That's
hooch.
right.
It's alcohol.
I would not drink that.
I would not
stuff.
drink the hooch.
Yeah, no.
on top of
No, from
sourdough.
this. Obviously, they do their own fermenting process, but that's probably some, right?
Desperate times, desperate
Now,
measures.
hooch,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. Some bakers, when hooch develops on their starter, which could really it can happen after a couple of days of it being in the
It's
fridge.
like a little rim of water.
It's a rim of water. Sometimes to develop more flavor in their sourdough, they'll mix in their hooch.
I was wondering about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they
like
will.
when you make, say, butter and
Yes.
you spin off the buttermilk fat from the
Yes,
heavy cream, you
right.
can use that
Yeah.
liquid into pancakes
true.
because it elevates the flavor.
Exactly. It definitely gives it more.
It also tenderizes buttermilk,
Tenderizes
the flour.
the flour. It also tenderizes. Well, if you were not kosher, it happens to be that
Chicken.
buttermilk. They soak non-Jewish people non-kosher people soak their chicken in buttermilk.
And you can make your power of buttermilk with
Coconut
any
milk
milk
and-
with lemon juice or vinegar.
I did that in my perfect flavors.
Yeah.
I soak the chicken in a power of buttermilk.
It's very effective.
and it's delicious.
It's delicious. Yeah.
So, according to the instructions in books and on the internet, because, it says it could take up to 7 days. Within 24 hours, it was bubbling. It
Why?
was-
Do you think it's winter and there was more?
No, it's
No.
because my house is constantly baking bread. There's all of it is in the air in her hands.
on your hands.
Yeah.
It's on your hands. It's on your skin. And it was a
Yours
Huva,
more in particular?
Malki, anyone that does sourdough. And Ahuva, who I had spoken to, she's homegrown kosher.
That's amazing,
I
guys.
sent her a picture and I said, "Is this normal?" She goes, "Because normal. The procedure I wanted to follow was after 48 hours to feed it for the first time, not 24 hours."
Right.
And she goes, "Naomi, there's bubbles. It's alive. Feed it." And she was just blown away. She's like, "That's incredible growth." She said there was an experiment that was done. I think it was Chaya Suri that had mentioned it first because she listens to the podcast. If you make a starter, people who do sourdough, you make a starter, it will come to fruition. That's a good term to use, right?
Yeah.
Way faster than anyone else. And I think Chaya Suri did it, and so did Ahuva. I think it was a day or two that their starter was ready to go.
Because their house
Mixing
and their
it
hand.
by hand and the air around you.
Guys, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I did a sourdough class when I still lived here on the Lower East Side. We're talking about 16, 17 years ago. I took a class in Manhattan at the JCC. We did bread, and one of them was making a overnight starter with rye flour, and then you put that into bread. I've got to find the recipe. I've got it somewhere, and it was
What's it called?
It
There's
was
eight-
it was
so-
incredible.
So Biga, Polish, starter, they're all the
Overnight
same.
starter is
What did you
called.
say?
It's called a Polish.
Biga,
Yes,
Polish.
that's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a base.
gotta
That's what
find my
it is. It's,
recipe.
it's a base. It's like a sponge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
They're
got
all-
to find it. I
yeah.
used to leave it
Sponge,
on
yeah.
top of my my fridge overnight in
Yeah.
in a little plastic
Then
wrap.
there's some things that are.
Oh my
But then
gosh.
people get
I've got to find you
confused.
that recipe. You'll love it.
Well, I'll tell you, some people get confused because there's a lot of no-knead overnight breads.
Jim Leahy.
So Jim Leahy's one of them.
What's that?
Bread
He's
flour.
he's
whatever.
a baker that created the concept of overnight no knead bread.
But it uses yeast. It uses commercial yeast. So sourdough
It's a bit of a
bread.
cheat.
If you're
Yeah.
going shopping and you see something that says sourdough bread, if you read the ingredients and it says yeast, it's not sourdough
it's not
bread.
sourdough.
It has a sourdough flavor,
Right.
but it's not sourdough bread.
Okay, guys, that's actually a really good point. And I always tell, especially my kids, I said, when you buy food, read the labels.
Absolutely.
Read what you are putting into your body.
Absolutely.
That's fascinating.
Isn't it?
I've got to find those recipes and show them to you. A lot.
then-
We did a lot of bread baking.
Sourdough's been taken to a whole other level. I think it's Rory from Full and Free. She does she does a spelt one, and I think with spelt flour or spelt starter, if you let it sit for 24 hours or more, it becomes. If you have celiac, you can't eat it. It still has.
The gluten in it.
But if you are gluten intolerant, apparently you can tolerate the bread. I think. I think. I'm pretty sure.
This is fascinating. I didn't know Hoover once got in as tried to once do one for Pesach with quinoa.
Yeah.
That's when I first started following her. When
Me too.
When she was doing something with quinoa starter
flour.
for Pesach. I need a Hoover on the show. I'm going to write that down.
Definitely.
I'm writing notes of all the
She's
people
a
that need
wealth
to
of
come back on the
knowledge.
show.
And she's always been very helpful.
Yeah,
So
she's great. I introduced her to the guys at a Culinary Depot, and she got like a big mixer from them, a tabletop
She
mixer.
has an amazing setup.
Yeah, well, she lives in Monster, you know. You can spread
of
out a
space.
little bit over there. She has chickens in her backyard.
Your brother-in-law has chickens.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wait. Speaking of Monster, we have, like, in the house, we have Pele Poultry.
That's right.
That's your...
Bethel
and-
Creamery.
Bethel Creamery. We never did. We're going to do a story together about our...
must.
We did it. You and I was going to come to you to talk about the milk and life. I was
know.
in between trips. I love milk. Hello, this is a cup of coffee. It has 99% milk, 1% coffee. Not Bethel Creamery, which I love.
no.
They weren't at Kosher Fest this year.
I know.
It made me so sad because I was going to go straight there in the morning for my cup of milk.
I'm sure. Their yogurt, their lemon.
Oh my
their
God, it was
milk.
my kids went crazy here at Bethel.
Remember the Bethel Babka?
Oh my gosh, yes.
We made a
used
Bethel
full-fat
Babka.
yogurt in that.
Mm.
It was so,
So
good.
good.
Naomi's in heaven.
It's
Okay,
so good.
girls, now let's move from let's eat the sourdough, and then we're going to talk a little
sourdough.
bit about babkas and a little bit about cakes with Malky as well. So let's talk about, okay, I washed before the show. So I made a mistake because I washed. I said, I'll need to like a dime. And then I came back in and I realized I can't talk. And that means I can't do my radio show. So we needed to cut the bread up before the show started so I could say Hamotzi and start the show. So let's put it back together again.
A puzzle. Yep. Put
Yeah.
it back together.
How do we do this?
Do you know there's a great quote by Julia Child?
Yeah.
If you find something that's beautifully plated, chances are someone's fingers have been all over it.
I love that
Isn't
woman.
that I love Julia
I just
Child.
started watching again Julie and Julia.
Oh,
My jet lag.
did you
at
read
night.
the book?
No.
You
Should
must
I?
read
Should
the
I
book.
read the book?
That's my rule on movies and books. You
I-
have to read the book before you see the movie.
I'm reading a book for a year already.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a
what
really
book?
slow.
What book?
Because what happens is I've got to read all the
way.
magazines. I've got to read all the magazines.
True.
And then I fall asleep when after reading 2-3 pages. I forgot the name of it. It's Jodie Picoult.
Jodie Picoult. Pickled?
Picoult. And I bought it when I was in South Africa last year.
Oh my gosh.
I was there a year ago.
It's a great
Bought
read,
Airport
isn't
on
it?
the way.
I feel like
It
you're not
is.
sitting down long enough
enough.
to read a book.
Well, if I do sit, then I fall asleep.
Right.
Yes.
I read
you know.
cookbooks. You could tell by my
Right,
vast vocabulary.
Right. But right, so I read cookbooks, I read magazines and flakeshakes and all that.
Then I get hungry and I go eat.
Yeah, it's a bad cycle.
It's a terrible cycle.
So we put this back together again. Okay.
There we go.
Now, this is how do you make these? You talk about how you made the bread. How did you make the grooves on top? Can we get a nice little zoom on this bread here? Okay. All right. How did
It's
you?
called a monkey wire.
Wire monkey.
Wire monkey. Wire monkey. It's a razor that has a little knob attached to the end, gives you good leverage.
It's called a UFO
You could use it with a razor. You could use it with something called a lamb.
a lamb. I don't like the lamb. It scares me.
It's just a knob with a razor attached to the end. And the reason that you put slashes in dough on the top is to let the steam escape. People take it to a different level because you have the most beautifully etched sourdough
Yes,
loaves
I've
you
seen
find on
She
Instagram.
freehands like
Yeah,
I've never.
so-
Well,
seen.
Malky's artistic.
She is.
So
Yeah, but
It
this
comes
is
through in her
Naomi's
bread.
work of art, and it's really beautiful.
this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I cut it up a bit because we had to
well,
say how much.
Plenty more where that
That's
came
true.
Yeah, it's
That's
going right to
true.
my hip. Okay. So let's show people how you cut a sourdough.
absolutely.
Okay, because it's a bit intimidating. It does
Yes.
make a big crust. You actually cook it inside a
Dutch oven.
Dutch oven, which is a pot with a lid. Kind of, you steam it first, and it's very hot. You put on a very high oven.
500 degrees.
By the way, if you want to take a sourdough class, which we'll talk in a minute, how to reach out to them. But let's show everyone how we cut it. So we use this amazing knife from
Remember me home.
Petco.
Remember me home.
What's it?
Aviva.
Aviva.
Yes.
Aviva. I can never. She has a double last name. So I can't
Aviva Bennett Tribute. I don't know how to
Okay,
pronounce
we
it.
love you, Aviva.
Aviva, we love you.
At Remember Me Home.
Yes.
But just remember me home. She's been on the show. We should have her on again, talk about knives for Pesach.
yes.
So by the way, I did buy this knife from her for Tzvi for
fingers.
Challah.
Yeah.
It's okay. And they're plastic hands at this point. And she engraved his name in it, so she can
love
do that. She can
that.
personalize knives.
Yes.
So, do you guys want to show how you pretend cut that
Go
now?
for it, Malky.
You're sitting right here.
Oh.
Okay. So you want a good sharp serrated knife.
Okay.
Okay. So pretend this is all whole.
All right. We're going to cut it down the middle.
Okay. This is seriously how you cut sourdough bread. What's wrong? Uh-oh. You cannot eat anything that's fallen on the floor.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to move this off. I have this half over here. All right. So you cut it down the middle.
I'll hold this. I'll put
Turn
this
it to
on
the
there.
side so it has something to balance on, to rest on.
You always want a flat edge when you cut any case, whether it's a carrot or a bread knife.
Watch your fingers. Okay? And then you slice. Watch out for flying crumbs. Okay? You see that?
Yeah.
And then you basically can go any which way you want. So then, actually, I'll just continue it that
Keep
way.
it cut side down. Yeah.
Okay, now can we have some butter?
Butter.
Now I bought I don't want to say year, some ramps, which are only in season.
April.
It's an onion weed.
We were together.
Would we buy that
Yeah,
together?
we bought it together. I
it
came on
like-
your show. It was Schlissel week.
Oh, that is. I've had it that long. Okay, whatever. It was in the
It's
freezer.
lasts indefinitely. It's in the freezer.
Okay, yeah. So we made ramp butter, and I thought that would be a perfect time. That and Vegemite I thought we should put on the bread, but they refused
I'm
to
so
eat
happy you forgot the Vegemite.
I forgot it.
I'm the same. I've
wouldn't
had
even
that.
try-
I've
you
had
had
Vegemite.
it. I had it.
Yes.
Malky?
No.
No, I had an Australian roommate in seminary, and
she probably didn't treat
loved
it to
the
you
stuff.
right. She
It was
prob-
terrible.
I took it on birthright with me, and some of the kids actually did like it.
What's
very-
Marmite?
I don't know. It's British.
Oh.
Yeah.
Marmite.
It's
Vegemite.
just very
Black.
yeasty.
Yes.
It's yeast on yeast.
Well, there's no yeast on here.
Well, it is wild yeast.
Wild yeast from the air.
From
Can
the
I just give you
air.
a sourdough fact, which is really cool?
Yeah.
Do you want to know why also people score their bread
Why?
aside from releasing yeast?
Using
Be-
steam.
Yes, thank you.
Steam.
Steam. Because there used to be, everyone used to bake in a communal oven. Okay.
Oh, they used to mark their challah with
So
their
that
name
is
on.
how they personalized their loaves of bread, was by putting in their marking, or their, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ownership.
Identify. Yeah.
Identity.
So, right. Like you
This is
have
my-
your logo.
That's really funny.
I have my logo, and that would be how you tell the bread apart. And also, people would carry their starter. Here's another really cool thing, in a necklace. Bakers would carry
I've
their
heard this. I've
their
heard this.
their starters. She's so happy in their necklace.
Are you going to get
Should we get a chain and just put it on here?
Yeah, but they have names also.
I want to smell.
They name their yeast. Come on, where's the
You
butter?
have to. You
Where's
have
the-
to
do we
name.
have a knife?
Look at this.
This.
Here.
Yeah, it's gonna drop
Look,
soon.
this is how you make butter. We made butter, and we wrapped it like this.
Hold on, this is
Okay?
That's
you
how.
wrap it in a log.
Oh, you can smear it like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, here. You can do the honors.
Oh, goody.
Like this.
Yeah. Paint.
I'm painting
Play
the
with
butter.
your food.
I know, we really need. Is there I think in that closet there,
There's something. There's a knife here.
there's a knife
For
here
sure.
somewhere. Oh my God, you smell that? It's garlic and ramp. Maybe doesn't get better than that, right?
Are you saving that
bread
for a
and butter,
special
or is it
occasion?
better?
You were
I have
saving
another
that for
one.
a special
What would
occasion.
be better than having you two on my show? This is the special occasion.
Oh, knives.
We
Thank you.
have plastic knives.
There we go.
Okay, so I already, as you know, washed. Okay, wow. Okay, I'm really supposed to be on a diet.
Today's
We're-
not the day that you're going to do that.
Well, I
We're
can
gonna eat this in the car.
just save some for me and ZK. I have to give you my car keys. They're
Yes.
driving my car home. Okay.
You're not gonna spread it. Just fold it in half with the butter and eat it.
No, I'm just like a little bit. I don't know why it's not spreading. I think it's still too
There's
cold.
no carbs in it.
What, in the
In the
butter?
butter, yeah.
Is that
You're
why it
fine.
doesn't spread?
No, because that's why you should just like take a bite.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I just don't want a big glob of butter in my mouth.
Why? Who doesn't want a glob of butter?
That's true. Okay, here we go.
Ooh.
I'm going to fold my bread and butter in half. Okay. You have to talk while I chew.
We could do that.
Yeah, for sure. Another fun fact about sourdough,
Oh my god.
is it good? Is that there is no oil and there is no eggs. Anybody that has allergies, no sugar. So any child that has an allergy to eggs,
I know someone actually allergic to instant yeast.
Yes, I heard that.
So
Somebody
I
once asked me.
gave them
Your
some of my
starter?
sourdough.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Just like this, guys.
My family, that's what they want. They love sourdough.
That's all you need is really sourdough and a
And you
schmear.
can add anything to it. You can make it your own. You can add
Yes.
roasted garlic
Into
and
the filling.
herbs.
Guys, if people want to take a class, how do they find out more about how to get you guys?
I would say Instagram DM.
Yeah.
Or email me. And I'll put you in touch with them.
Exactly.
You hear the crunch?
It's just so much more fun when you're doing it with a friend.
Okay, am
That's
I
really
making
what
you
it
some?
is.
He'll have after the show. I need to wash beforehand.
But the thing is, like, it's amazing to
Understand.
share your passion with somebody that shares it with you. Like,
Yeah.
we send each other, like, food pictures on Instagram all,
day.
Right.
all the time.
It's so cute.
And bread and this and that. And, like, we get it. Like, that's what it is. Like, we have an idea and then we go for it. And it's just so much more fun when you can work with a friend and, you know, you learn together, you could teach together.
I love
It's
it.
double the fun.
Such a beautiful friendship.
It is.
Okay, beautiful. Malky, tell us a little bit about how you started as Kiss the Kosher Cook and
Oh my gosh.
the evolution that you've gone
Your
through
original
now.
Kiss the Kosher Cook
The
name.
original Kiss the Kosher Cook.
You had a group. Is your group still active?
I think it's active, but I really haven't been on very much on Facebook, unfortunately. I feel like my new home where I'm more comfortable is Instagram.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Do
Agreed.
you feel the same?
And the
even though
Nachum Segal
today,
Network.
right? Even though today there's a new feature on Instagram where you can share all of your pictures and post to Facebook as well.
That's been around for a while.
No, it hasn't been that long. I think they're under the same
Your
ownership
story.
now.
Oh, your story? It's also been around
Yes.
for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
In any
It depends
case,
when your phone updates.
Malky found out today.
I found out like last week. So
No. Some of it's.
I'm
new
not very
feature.
tech savvy.
Some of it is an updated feature.
Story?
Yeah, just story. You can put your Instagram, your Facebook thing. It used to be from Facebook to Instagram. They can do You could do Instagram to Facebook, and they can do Facebook.
You
to
could be
Instagram.
everywhere.
Yes,
That's pretty much.
Yes, exactly.
I'm everywhere.
Show you are.
Omnipresent. Like, you are here, there.
So anyway,
everywhere.
it started on Facebook. It was a food group to basically recipe share and share different ideas about dinner and Shabbos and Yontif and all that stuff. Because us from women are, I would say, in the kitchen most of the time, whether we like it or not. But
We like it.
But I happen to love it. So that's where it
Me
started.
too. A happy place.
Right. That's where it started, and then it evolved into different areas of either baking, bread making, then just and it keeps on going. So
I think your cakes. She talks about her bread making. Her cakes are
thank
not
you.
normal.
So 2 years ago, this is a true story. 2 years ago, I got a message on Instagram from a girl in Brooklyn who actually is also a sourdough baker, Ruchi Cookies Bread. I don't know if you've heard of it. She's great. Asking me if I could replicate a number 2 cake for her husband's 2nd anniversary of being smoke-free. He quits.
Beautiful.
Yes, he quit smoking, and she had seen an Israeli pastry chef make these cakes that were initials and numbers. She wanted to know if I can
Oh,
do the same
those-
thing.
those-
Absolutely.
No
So,
way.
yeah.
Malky's the queen of
so
that.
I said, listen, I've never done it before, and I can't promise you what the result will be, but I will try it, and I will let you know. And I did it, and it's 2 years later, and it's
How many have
never
you made?
been busier.
What number are you up
Hundreds.
to with your numbers?
Hundreds. I don't even know.
Do you make like at least one a week?
I make 3 or
5?
4. Yeah, I make a lot of them. Yeah, and they could be different things. It could be an engagement ring for a vart. There could be
On
a
the same
heart.
kind of thing.
They're all different. They're templates, and I have plastic, numbers 1 through 10. I have A to Z. I have Aleph through Tuf. So it depends on anything. People, want a bar mitzvah centerpiece on a dessert table, and they want it to be a shin for Shmuley. So
I need an
that's-
elf for Liora for her bat mitzvah.
okay.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
I have
so-
to write it down.
yeah,
If
so-
I don't. If I write notes during the show,
Right.
so I remember afterwards because you
Right.
can never remember what you said after the show.
Yeah. So it really is. It's personalized by color scheme, by what the kid or the guy or the girl likes. I put little mini liquor bottles on there. I put whatever they like, and they're always French macarons, and there are.
You had me at macarons.
Yeah,
I
flowers.
love.
Yeah,
Where do you get your
flowers.
macarons from?
I get them. I have two people in the neighborhood that make them for me. One is Carrie Hawk, and
sure,
she
my
puts
friend's
up
daughter.
with Lisa's daughter, and I love her. And I mean, every
friends.
week, yeah, she's great. She's great.
Did you see the Oreo thing that she made?
Yes,
That is not normal.
It's beautiful.
She's amazing. I remember
she
when
is
she
amazing.
first started, and wow.
She really, yeah. So every week she's making me macarons, and we're always doing different designs.
So who's the other person?
Gita Elephant, macarons by Gita. She's
Okay.
in Rockaway.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So that's taken on a life of its own in itself. That alone. I bake different types of cakes, but Naomi keeps on telling me we need something new. We need something new. Like it's
something
time
new.
for something new.
Right, so
Right.
so it's this.
She wants me to do something new.
So
completely.
I'm always evolving, right? I'm
Yes.
always looking for the next
You have
thing.
to, yeah.
Because you went through you did the lemon. Everybody wanted the lemon. It's really what the people want.
It really is.
What do you guys want?
Yeah.
Malky? What should Malky
What
do
do you
next?
want from me?
I always send you there's that mirror glaze. I don't know.
The mirror glaze is really hard because
What's
it's
a
heavy.
mirror glaze?
Mirror
Hello?
glaze.
I don't know what that
mirror
is.
glaze is this high shine glaze that is made with condensed milk and gelatin sheets.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's very scientific. It requires a lot of different kitchen tools I do not have. There are cake decorators that use it like on all their cakes. They are beautiful. I haven't gone there yet. I'm just some things just intimidate me. That's one of those things.
I never had her cookie cake.
She never had my cookie cake. I've never made a Leonard Edmund for her. I know.
I don't even want a letter. I'll eat anything.
we can have an N together. One N.
True. We could do two Naomis.
And I'm NN as
That's
well.
true. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of cakes for you. I send her ideas. You're supposed to do the one.
Wait, I've got an idea. We're going to ask the Nachum Siegel audience. What
Okay.
kind of cakes should Malky make? Email me, naomi@nachumsiegel.com. So you've got a few things to do today. We've given you homework. We've given you a giveaway.
Yes.
And now ideas for what cakes?
What should be my next?
cake?
Yes, my next cake.
Okay, I'm curious to see what everyone is going to say. Or it could be dessert thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's cool.
She
We always
makes
have to
really
look for the
pretty
next best
desserts.
things. So, okay, great. And do you do, I remember at one point you were doing personal chef. Do you do that? a
I
little
do it. I dabble. I'm one person. I've got a lot of things every week going on. Thank God, it's become very busy.
It's always busy.
Always crazy. And but I do love learning, and I do love trying new things, whether it be cooking or baking. And I look forward to my next adventure.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
We look forward to seeing your
Thank
next
you.
adventure.
Thank you.
By the way,
I
you
look
two.
forward to tasting your next adventure.
Yeah, don't forget to include me in that.
Absolutely.
Girls, I just want to tell you, and also my audience. I don't know if you know this, but on the Lower East Side, we're right now on the Lower East Side on Grand Street. They're going to actually drive my car home because I need to spend a little bit more time in the city, and then so I'm going to get a ride home later. You can don't forget the car keys. Well, I guess you won't get very far.
No,
You
we
get
won't get far
downstairs,
without the
you're
car
like, oh,
keys.
done.
Yeah.
Now back upstairs.
Yeah.
Drive up Grand Street that way.
Mhm.
There is a restaurant called Diller's, which sells all kinds of pickle food, like
Oh.
hamburgers with pickle, like deep fried pickles and pickled
Oh
chips.
my gosh, deep
and
fried pickles.
yeah, it's really worth stopping and getting yourself a little bite to eat on your way home.
Should we do it?
I don't know. Should we?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. You're
Yeah.
driving.
I'm serious. It's amazing. It's totally worth stopping by. If you're here on Grand Street, go check up Diller's. It's near where used to be the pizza shop on the Lower East Side on Grand Street, if you guys remember that from back in the day. So yeah,
Can't say I do.
That'll
Yeah.
be our destination.
but
after
you'll do lunch and I'll meet up
You'll
with you
eat-
guys
you'll eat
another
the
time.
bread.
for
We'll have
lunch.
bread.
You'll eat the
You
bread.
leave me your bread, Minzy.
Bread and
We'll
butter.
finish this off.
Sounds
and
good.
you guys go get pickles, and you'll have an amazing lunch on your way
Yes.
out. They have really cool drinks like pineapple, pickle juice drinks, and
I don't know. Are you into that?
pineapple pickle juice.
I don't know.
something
Yeah.
like that. You'll try. Whatever
There was
they
a
have.
pickle
What's it
juice
called?
being sold at Kosher Fest. Did you remember that? It's supposed to.
Right. I had. So
It's
you know what I
for,
had? I had
athletes.
a pickle shot. It's
Yeah.
called right. What's it called?
It's supposed to be good
It-
for your after
No.
a run. Yes,
It's electrolytes.
Electrolytes.
It's not.
So,
yeah.
SD Walby taught me this. You have a shot. I'm not such a big drinker, but you have a shot of whiskey and you follow a chaser. Pickleback. You have whiskey.
Pickleback?
Yeah, it's called a pickleback. You have a shot of whiskey followed by pickle juice. You can try that on Shabbos. Have you heard of that, ZK? He has. See, it's real because if ZK's heard of it, he knows for sure.
They have pickle pops, like frozen pickle. You freeze them. It's for athletes. Your face says it all. It's for athletes.
Yeah, but I love pickles, but I just frozen pickle as long as it's not soggy.
It's really for athletes. Like if you've done like a long bike ride or run or whatever.
Yeah, that's
you want to.
not.
We walked up the
How
stairs.
about if you eat an entire sourdough loaf? Do you follow it with pickle?
That's a
pickle
marathon of
juice
eating,
and
not a marathon of
not
running.
No, they're different, right?
Carb
They're
loading.
But I used to be a runner in my day. That's
Were
the
you?
sad part.
Me
It's a
too.
lot in common.
Yeah, I did. I used to run.
I used
stopped.
to run. And now I just run to restaurants. Okay, it's not a bad thing. Baruch Hashem. Okay, guys, this has been an incredible show. We had Israel Free Spirit. We had All Shook Up. We had Kiss the Kosher Cook. We had Naomi TGIS all on the show in 1 hour. My mind is blown. I need a nap.
I do too.
All right, we've got a very long Erev Shabbos afternoon. I just want to say thank you to all our guests today. This is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Siegel Network. We have music sponsored by our friends at Kedem all the way up to Lichtenshing. Have a Shabbat Shalom. Take care. Bye, everyone.